what it was like to be 26. That's a long distant memory now, mate. God.
Wow.
Well, okay. You know what? Let's take a look at our map. Maybe it'll rejuvenate us a bit, and maybe it'll guide us to the fountain of youth. Oh no! Oh no! What is wrong with this world?
Why are we surprised anymore?
Can 2020 get any worse? Honestly, man.
This is like Groundhog Day, but it's a real vicious version of Groundhog Day where like nothing ever feels good, and this is it. It's Oregon Day, I'm going to call it from now on, not even Groundhog Day. I just want out. I'm done.
Well,
please let me out.
At least, Jess, it gives us a really good basis on which to compare every single team, because every single team is playing Oregon.
I just want to go.
Look at the silver lining,
You're really trying very hard.
The silver lining is so
You're really
thick,
trying.
I
Someone has got to clutch at straws somewhere.
With a blunt scissor. That's how thin that is. I'm done.
I can tell you that much. All right, you know what? Socials. Let's see what people thought about this game at our 6 Esports APAC. It's almost like a time everything perfectly. 67% for Talon, 33 on Scarz. Fair enough. I kind of can get behind that. I can get behind it. Let's see what all of us though thought about.
If anyone voted
game.
Scarz, I swear to God.
Wait, it's a weirdly
did he
hot
vote
take.
Scarz?
Wow, that was threatening.
All right,
That's
let's see.
threatening.
Come on. Talon. Good. Okay.
Where's Hap? Where's Hap?
I'm
Where's
proud
Hap?
of you all.
Yeah, what
No,
did
no,
Hap
no.
vote for
Where's
production?
Hap? Can we see Hap's prediction?
Wait. Are the Aussies actually leading right now?
We are.
Jess, I
We're doing
think we-
great.
Wait, are you doing better than Hap? Hap was on 69% earlier.
Yeah,
That's a
nice.
good-
No,
Good
Hap is
question.
definitely leading.
Yeah,
definitely
but
leading.
where's his prediction?
Okay, we don't
for
need to
this
bring
one?
it up then. We don't need to bring it up. He's not relevant. He's not on there. So.
I have
He
to
went
say,
to Scarz. I'm done. He should be trusted anymore.
Actually did. He did.
Okay, you know what? If he wins,
If he went, I'm done. I'm not doing prediction anymore. Production, I am out of this. If he gets Scarz right, then he just wins it all. I'll give it.
I
I'll give the
really
trophy
want to
myself.
know his justification here. I'd love to know the reasons.
Oh.
Hi, Dev Twice.
oh, hello. Gio, it's your lucky day. You got
Trio.
2 gems.
I don't think that's a
Oh,
good
there he
thing.
is. Hello, Hap.
We could see you before setting it up. You broke it all. You ruined it.
Hap,
this
please.
one
Milos, can I just borrow your role for a few seconds, please?
Go ahead, please.
Please explain to me where the logic sits in predicting Scarz here.
You know, sometimes you just have to give the Aussies a chance to actually come back. You know.
Yeah, that's a very fair reason. Fair
you're
enough.
pro-
Okay,
But-
I'll give
Boy,
you that.
shut up, Des. You're
If
down there at
Scarz
50%.
wins, I am
Des,
the
you and I
biggest
are
of
below
brains that walks this earth.
So
It's both of those.
Yeah, where's your reasoning?
where's the reason?
He doesn't have reasoning. He's just he just
I'm
feels
just
bad for us
saying,
because he's
no,
destroying
yeah,
us.
that's
He just wants to be
giving us a
You
praise.
may have
I'm
your
just
role
going
back
for an
now.
off game just to make sure you guys can come back. But if it's correct,
He
I'm
just
the biggest
flips
of
the
big
coin.
brains.
That's all he does. I'm
Hap.
convinced.
Hap, I'm just trying to figure out here. Did you take your prediction methods from Fluke for this one? Because it seems like you're on the same wavelength here.
What do you mean?
Just fire away.
Look,
See
Joe,
what
go
sticks.
crazy.
I'm trying to keep my 69% intact. Like,
You just said that you wanted to
That's the
give more
best
to the
reason.
Australians.
yeah, I mean that gives them an opportunity to come up because they have a
Okay.
smaller sample size. They come up to 65% if they win this.
All right, Steinhappers,
Send him home.
please go. He is
Goodbye.
home. We're
More
casting from home. Go enjoy your toasty or whatever.
already had
Let's
that.
bring it to our. Thank you very much. Thank you, Hap. Let's toss it over to our casters. Gio, Dev, wow, it's Koreans all over. Gio must be jumping for joy right now. Oregon.
I mean, I'm pretty excited to see this because it is, of course, a rematch of what we saw from stage 1, where Talon decimated Scarz. Dev, you wanted me to introduce this game in Korean, and I said absolutely not.
Yes, I was very disappointed and I'll never forgive you. So.
In an unrelated topic, we're never casting together again after this.
That's it, guys. The last cast for Gio and Dev together here on, guess what? Oregon for Talon versus Scarz. Not only is it a rematch, but we're going back to the same map last time. Now, Gio, we're running out of time here for APAC North. Latin America is starting very soon. We've got BR6 coming up, and we still have another map, the big one after this, Cloud9 versus Giants. So what I'm really gunning for is Talon to put on their big boy pants and do the 7-1 decimation that they did against Scarz last stage.
Yeah, we gotta. Well, I was gonna say we gotta make it quick, and obviously that's, from a scheduling perspective, we kind of do. But at the same time, I would really love for this to just be super spicy and throw things completely out of whack. I mean, straight away, we're here in the ban phase, and Maverick, last time they came to this map together, didn't make an appearance.
Well, banned out now, and Thatcher as well. Okay, cool. So this is anyone who watched the Vitality G2 game on, I think it was Monday, or maybe it was Wednesday. I don't know. Days all blend into one when you literally don't see daylight. Yeah, there you go. When Mav and Thatcher ban, it's just so uncomfortable for the attackers. Wall denial becomes really pivotal, and so we're likely seeing some Kali, I expect, maybe some grenades, or we've seen creative uses of like Ash Charge and Sophia Charges to try and remove any wall denial util, but that basement objective is likely to be heavily defender slanted with this. But we might see maybe a Monty or a Blackbeard. We've seen Scarz bring out those before, and that might be able to leverage them. But one thing that we didn't really touch on yet, Gio, is that Scarz actually significantly changed their lineup, and I think that we would probably both agree that it's a significant improvement over what they had last season.
Yeah, definitely. For those who aren't aware, one of the big problems that Scarz were suffering was that they were desperately looking for someone to join the roster, and they had to use their coach Revy as a stand-in because they never found the right fit. Well, now they got rid of Yas, who you'll see isn't on the roster anymore. He was a good player, but an inconsistent player, and Revy can finally go back to coaching as we have our two new players in the form of Coldbro and Nosferatu, and it's definitely felt more like a complete roster that they can actually build upon rather than playing with that stand-in.
Yeah, I really think it's going to be a significant upgrade. I mean, you just look at the stats. Revy, I hate to, pile it on, but Revy was the worst performing player in the entire APAC North League. 12 teams of 5 players each, that's 60 players. Revy was the worst. And so, no offense, but anything's probably an upgrade here. And for Revy to go back to coach, probably putting his skills to better use there.
Look, he was good on shields, because I remember when they figured that one out, they were like, wow, if we put Revy on Monty, we actually win stuff. But obviously that's not something they have to worry about anymore. They'll have way more flexibility in their options, in how they want to play, and they can refine that. But Scarz weren't the only team to make changes, because Talon 2 have done the same.
Yeah, very much so. We're seeing Soldier brought on. I admittedly haven't actually really seen much. I haven't known what to expect out of Soldier as of yet. I already thought Talon was a pretty hard-hitting team. Players like Tomorrow really are the ones I'm expecting to step up in terms of the fragging department. But hey, if Soldier can, I guess, stay true to their namesake, then Talon shouldn't be sweating too hard.
And that'll be a really interesting thing as well, because these two teams go back quite a while. Obviously, both hail from the Korean sub-region. So ever since Talon made their mark in the scene, I believe it was Challenger League Season 10 that they first made an appearance. And after that, they started going up against the Pro League teams in things like the Korean Open. The very first game these two teams played against each other, Scarz won, very narrowly. Every game they've ever played since then, Talon have won. So Scarz have a lot to prove here. With this new roster, with their new way of playing, they have so much to swing the momentum of the history of these two teams.
Ooh. Was that an Evil Eye, I think, that just destroyed those X-Kairos placed on? There you go. Look at that from BD. Eventually dispatched with, but 11 should have enough X-Kairos left to destroy that mirror window. Just got to detonate the single X-Kairos that's already on that black mirror. But there's a new jammer behind it, and I don't believe that Kali has... Well, actually, I'm not sure. Does Kali got any Lancers left? There you go. Another one comes out. One remaining. But now the impact can come through as well. So Talon are holding on to this mirror window for such a long time. I've personally not seen mirror utilized in this position before, but that is all of the X-Kairos gone. and Scarz at a bit of a loss to deal with this position in showers.
No, it's actually pretty interesting, especially as last time they played on this map, Mirror was banned, so we haven't seen how these two teams like to use it. Obviously, it's wasted a significant amount of time that the attackers now can't make up. They have to push in with less than a minute remaining, and all 5 of the defenders still standing, and it's going to be harder when BD gets shots like that as he brings Canos down, really going for the window still to provide that pressure.
So confident on the angle as BD still allowed to remain alive, and it goes to show just because Scarz countered that mirror window doesn't spell the whole story, and still BD peeking. Takes a hunk of damage from Nosferatu, but eager on the angle. Eventually they fall. It took some time, but Nosferatu finds the double. And Scarz looking to make their way into the bomb site with just a few seconds left. Planting looks nigh impossible right now, and Talon, all they have to do is hold down the forts. They do just that, and Demic is the last one remaining before he's cleaned up.
Yeah. Didn't last for very long at the end there for the attacking team. Talon looked very confident in the way they'd set themselves up. Obviously, gaining that shower's control was quite a challenge for Scarz because of what happened with the mirror window.
And what's more, Talon winning on that dining defense, we were really exploring the histories of these teams, Gio, rather than focusing on the game at hand, which is okay, I think, especially in the early game. But we didn't really get to touch on the fact that dining, very unusual bomb site pick. And like you said, haven't seen Mirror in last time these guys played each other on the map. So quite unusual hold from Talon, and I think that would have thrown off Scarz very clearly, and it netted them the result. So it's a nice, strong start. And to add to what we were already prefacing, Talon do have the head-to-head win against Scarz just consistently every time they've encountered each other, aside from that very first time that Scarz won. But not all of those matches have been cut and dried. Yes, Talon 7-1 Scarz on this map last stage, but more recently, you look, there was a 7-0 on Consulate, which again, very, very convincing to Talon. And then when they went to Clubhouse in the Korean Open, it was an 8-7 15-round smack of a game that Talon eventually won. So I think that goes to show that Talon, yes, seems to be the overall better team, but it can be very map-dependent.
Absolutely. There are definitely a certain pool of maps that these two teams have faced each other a number of times on, and this will of course be the second time that they've come to Oregon. So maybe it will add into the little pool of traditional Scarz Talon rivalry maps. It just depends how this is going to go, because obviously Talon won 7-1 last time, and they really took Scarz by surprise with, particularly on the attack, where they brought a lot of Blackbeard, something that no one really expected to happen. And Scarz obviously want to be getting revenge for that. They want to be proving that they can do the same thing in return, and so far, the first round hasn't spelled out the fates turning that way.
Good droning. Tomorrow spotted out, roaming in meeting hall. Some might say a roam is a bit unnecessary when the Thatcher and the Maverick are banned, but I say with Wamai also taken off the board, things get a lot more difficult in terms of anchoring down on the bomb site. Canos outside lobby, wary of default or rather Valkyrie cameras placed outside, and Tomorrow roaming downstairs. Players surrounding this lone roamer, but none of them aware of the position in garage.
It's a really risky place to be as well, because if he does decide to do a run out, there's enough support from the attackers nearby that he could easily get refragged. It doesn't look like that is what he's going to be going for, though. He's continuing to play it safe, instead just trying to peek down the hallway in case any of the attackers come through there.
So the idea with Tomorrow here is roaming to support the player above him in Armory. PMW has actually even reinforced the hatch. And Tomorrow holding on to this, likely to catch any player off guard. Soldier also as well. 11 may well intend to go downstairs into garage to vertically pressure, but Tomorrow started things off. The Jaeger peaks, but every shot is missed. Tomorrow swings him, and that finds his second kill on the round. Gio, it looks like Talon have this well under control.
Yeah, a really good start there for Talon. as Tomorrow takes things into his own hands, and now Scarz are very aware that they have this added threat. Just 2 of them are remaining, and already Colbro will be taking damage from elsewhere as Tomorrow retreats back to the site. Now they're going to take place in the garage, or Tomorrow's not retreating back to the site, he's going back down to the basement. Site's upstairs. Deleting the default camera as they attempt to move on up the main stairs, but not much time is remaining, but there are quite a few members of Talon still on the board. You've got to bear in mind that that C4 could be played from below, as Tomorrow is still on the roam, and that hasn't been cleared, but there's really not much time to go at all. Trying to avoid the smokes, and there was the attempt at the C4. It didn't get any kills, but such little time remaining, and Tomorrow is actually going to be able to secure 2 kills at the end. It wasn't even just a time thing, but the eliminations came through as well. Talon looking dominant.
I'm glad that we mentioned Tomorrow as a highlight player for Talon, because he just goes out and gets a 4K in round number 2. Impressive stuff so far for Talon. And I've got to say, they are well in control of this game. Scarz downstairs looking to hunt those roamers, and really they were. The hunters became the hunted when Tomorrow decided to switch things on and swing in Meeting Hall. And by then, I guess the rat infestation could not be taken out by Scarz. They'll go downstairs this time around. Talon looking to make their successful rotation of 3 different bomb sites, and keeping in mind that the Thatcher and the Maverick are banned, as we've mentioned, it's going to be very, very difficult for Scarz to take down and breach into the bomb site, especially with Mirror unbanned. We're really going to be relying on this Kali to clear any wall denial, particularly the Electro Claws, on the Mirror windows, and then the Hibana or the Ace to actually break them. But it's a lot easier said than done.
I think it's not just about that as well, but also the fact that given that Scarz really were thrown off their plans and their game by that one inconvenience last time, all Talon seemingly have to do is just throw a small spanner into the works, take Scarz by surprise, and suddenly they just completely fall apart. That might be something that they're able to exploit going forward.
Talon are not just going for a heavy anchor, though. They have the confidence in their roam game that they've set up some rotation holes. We saw early in the round PMW using the TCSG shotgun to open that rotate hole from tier 2 of the big tower into attic, and that'll allow some freedom in the late round. If someone from Talon decides to re-roam, thank you medics, great, highlighting that option. Also the hatch is open, which means that anyone in attic can really control Meeting Hall. There you go. Aiming down that hatch, you really basically can deny anyone moving through Meeting Hall. But for now, all 5 Talon players are on site, and I think that's the right choice. Let Scarz do all their droning, as you can see, clearing from the west side of the map to take map control. And then late in the round, as Scarz is distracted trying to execute, Talon may be able to execute a flank.
I think one thing that's also really worth bearing in mind as Scarz seemingly struggle is this is the team that won Pro League Season 11 in Korea. They've had somewhat of a fall from grace and obviously watched who were formerly their rivals, Cloud9, take the championship in the APAC North Major. So they have a lot more of their own personal vendetta when it comes to these sorts of games. It's not just about personal improvement, but showing that they can be on the top again. And so far, it's not looking like it's going to go that way. Tomorrow just getting ready with the C4 in case anybody starts to head down Freezer stairs, as it looks like that is the intention. Scarz knowing that they can't open up the hatch since it's electrified.
That is proving to be quite a difficult thing for Scarz to deal with. They're going to bypass the hatch, and 2 Selmas detonate here on the wall into Laundry from Freezer, but you'll notice that shield moved from BD, and look at that, actually shooting off the Selmas to ensure that he can still crouch down and take cover, but PMW rather, finds Canos' head on the long angle. That already leads us to an advantage for Talon. Scarz trying to brute force this Freezer side, and a nade will take down PMW, but they'll revive, likely to be easy. Soldier comes to support. Talon can just face all their guns in this direction.
Yeah, perfectly enough room to be able to res him up, and with under 30 seconds remaining, Scarz are going to start feeling the time pressure now. One of their own has gone down, that's 11. He'll have to be raised as well, which is going to spend some time and so much utility coming out. The yellow toxic clouds of that gas, and Demic's going to be falling again. Under 10 seconds, and it really looks like things are looking good for Scarz as Tomorrow sneaks on up, but he gets taken out. 2 kills from PMW. Is there any hope for Scarz? It doesn't look like it. Talon take their 3rd round in a row, and right now you wonder what is going through Scarz's head.
We've certainly seen a lot of Oregon, and Talon have showed us a world tour now of 3 different bomb sites. I would love to see a 4th, but I don't think they need to flex their muscles to that degree. At the moment, Talon in significant control. And there's a lot of factors that have contributed to that. Partially, and I know I've talked about this a lot so far this map, but that Mav and Thatcher ban is always going to be a hindrance to the attack. So having to deal with that level of hard breach denial on the defensive side without utility to clear it, aside from the Kali, which can be subpar in a lot of situations, it makes things really difficult. And look, Talon are going to even further lead into that now that they're retrying Dining with a Bandit instead of that Evil Eyes from the Maestro. I think the idea there is that the jig is up on where that Evil Eye was placed and that it was to destroy some Hibanas on the mirror window. And so instead now just use the Bandit, and hopefully that'll be a bit more effective or reliable, I guess you could say, as for breach denial.
And you love to see it. You love to see a team who don't go back to the same strategy every single time just because it worked before, because you know that if you give your opponent the opportunity to adapt, that puts you in a weaker situation. So it's nice to see that Talon are feeling prepared and ready to bring something else out, feeling confident that they can deal with whatever it is Scarz decide to bring.
Very much similar setup from Talon's perspective. And holding above as well, we notice that there are holes looking down through the floor. PMW roaming currently. Like those holes through the floor, that'll deny an entry into kitchen if the push comes from the big tower side. PMW going to try to bandit trick this main mirror window facing towards small tower. Very influential position as we saw just last round. What I expect to see from Scarz here is some lances from the Kali to come through. Get rid of that first mute jammer. And then 11 will try and place some Hibana pellets on. And then BD will bandit trick him. And then we'll have this dance of the Kali comes through. And the bandit trick just bypasses its effectiveness. And by all rights, Talon should be fairly capable at holding that mirror window intact.
Oh, well, there you go. Gonna miss on that first one, is it? The bandit batteries do go down. I think I would definitely like to see some more value come out from Canos, because he's a player who has been able to play very aggressively in the past. And so far in this game, he's been taken out pretty early on each round. But BD is going to be feeling the pressure. Yeah, BD is feeling the pressure right here. There's going to be the Hibana pellets that get sent in, but right now he's still feeling safe. He knows that there's a drone just around the corner alerting the team to his exact presence, and that's why this nade is getting cooked. Hopefully going to land on him, and it does. Demic taking that one for himself, and that means the shower's control could be taken, but actually it looks like Tomorrow, I believe, moved on into the room, desperately trying to hold on to it.
But his mirror window has been breached, so Scarz, they couldn't deal with the mirror itself, but they could deal with the player. And now that BD's bandit tricking has been denied, they can open the mirror. Of course, as you mentioned, Tomorrow to fill that position, but Scarz, I wonder if they have utility to push him out. They spot an ADS back there. Ooh, Yokai drone taken out. That's very handy early in the round. Won't be useful for plant denial, and to take down Tomorrow as well. That's a huge pick. This may well be the first look in Scarz get this map.
That was a great shot taken there from 11 as he really just popped straight over. So unfortunate that Tomorrow missed his head. Now we have PMW upstairs. He's got to rely on this last yokai drone as Colbro goes in for the plant, but he can't quite see him. There he is. He gets the first shot onto him, but he's going to try again. Nope, doesn't work. And now he can peek on through the hatch. Is he going to be able to get anything? Well, Kano certainly is, and now just Labyrinth is the last one remaining. Demic's going to be going in for the plant, but Scarz secure themselves a flawless round before even needing to. And that's almost the exact opposite of what we saw in the last game, where Yokai Drone does not automatically mean win.
It was on the exact same bomb site as well, funnily enough. Yeah, I want to point out, Kanna, since you highlighted him early into that round, he had died first every single round 3 times in a row, and then changing things up, didn't expose himself quite so much early. Scarz, they did the problem-solving approach to how to deal with that bandit, and the nade from Demic sealed the deal. That allowed them to push forward. But when it came to that final execute in the dying moments, it looked possible for Talon to come back in that 2 versus 4, primarily thanks to those yokais, or that single yokai remaining that could give info on the plant to enable a C4 to deny it, and also, of course, deny it with the Sonic Burst itself. But Kanos, retaking upstairs, was able to flush out that Echo, finish him off, and deny that yokai drone from being active, and then furthermore, continue and actually take out that final player on the bomb site. So a huge round there from Kanos, and overall much better from Scarz as a team. This was the nade that we're talking about, thrown from the small tower stairs, perfectly cooked, and BD never saw it coming.
Perfectly cooked, just like a good steak. And obviously the drone...
Medium rare grenade, that one.
Medium rare? I'm more of a... I like blue to rare steak. I'm one of those people.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Yeah, you're...
Thanks, I try. But I think the drone that was there on the corner in the showers corridor that BD couldn't quite get rid of definitely helped facilitate, particularly that nade that worked out for them and removed that big hindrance that was in the way for the attackers. And now Scarz have, of course, landed their first win on a round. And that's going to, I think that'll be a mental boon for them moving forward.
Absolutely, and if we recall the last time we saw this very bomb site defended by Talon, it was a significant tunnel vision from Scarz trying to flush out the armory, and that enabled Tomorrow to go huge with 2 picks on players downstairs, and then finishing it off at the end of the round with a flank. But Scarz instead have decided to start things with a attic push. So using the Kali and the Ace, they've breached this attic wall. Kali is actually a great operator to push down the attic because of that sniper rifle, the one-hit kill mechanic, or one-hit down mechanic more accurately. On those long angles, this is really a tube that you're aiming down. So as long as this deployable shield can be cleared, I would definitely advantage Nosferatu in the gunfight pushing up attic.
Yeah, and with PMW being the first to go down on the side of Talon Esports, swiftly removed from Armory, that means that the night vision goggles or the smoke goggles or smart glasses or whatever it was that Hap said that they were officially called no longer will be available to Talon should the Ace decide to use those smokes when Scarz want to come in and make the plant. That's a second kill for Demic there, and landing onto Tomorrow is of course incredibly valuable. Make that 3. Okay, Demic. He saw what Tomorrow was able to do and said, I want some of that.
They're not going to lie, Demic has been a deciding factor in the advantage that Scarz currently see themselves in, and of course last round kicking it off with that nade as well. Might be a bit extreme to say Demic is hard carrying Scarz right now, but I wouldn't hold it against you if you did. Not enough bullets left. The Kali does retrade his teammate. Nosferatu still attic control in hand, but Talon, they can still contest. BD's got a long angle. Nosferatu takes so much damage, but he can eventually land a shot. And it kind of crept up on me there, Gio, but the fact that Demic had found those 3 early picks meant that all it takes from Nosferatu is 1 trade on a player in attic and then just to clean it up at the end.
Yeah, and to make matters worse, it's, sniper rifle versus SMG-11 and you're playing from something of a distance.
Mm-hmm.
It was not the best situation there at the very end for BD, so another round on the board for Scarz. I'm wondering if they're starting to wake up, and maybe they're feeling the tingling in their hands and feet, and the electricity's now flowing. Maybe we'll get another 15-round game, and Hap's prediction, I'll be casting 45 rounds today, may be right.
It's possible. This is looking to be potentially a 3-3 split. I'm impressed with Scarz. They really turned it up these last few rounds. Talon's not getting away with the silly business that they made off at the start. And if I have a gaze on over at the stats from this stage so far, specifically APAC North Division Stage 2, what CGG's currently got on Oregon, so this is only 4 of the games, so I think it's just Playday 1. 62% defense win rate, so that's quite decisively in favor of the defenders. And if Talon can't lock out this final laundry defense, and Scarz even things up at the half, then Gio, got to tell you, I really don't think we'll be seeing C9 versus Giants anytime soon. I think this match will have a lot more to offer.
Which is kind of cool because, everyone expects the spiciest game to be the last one of the day today, but we've had quite a few spicy games.
We've had non-stop spicy games today.
We've been very lucky. We are rolling in the herbs and spices and all the different seasonings that you can have on your games. We've got it all. And hopefully
no
this
lemon
one...
and herbs for us.
No lemon and herb. Lemon and herb is disgusting, by the way. But...
Well, are you like a peri-peri kind of gal?
I don't eat at this particular restaurant, really, but I am that person who puts sriracha on everything. I cook with sriracha all the time. Anyway, so this is going to be a sriracha game. I'm calling it now because Scarz in the last couple of rounds, they're really starting to wake up.
They've turned up the heat, certainly. Roam clear for now. Very much what we saw from Scarz the first time around, and... Well, Talon retaking T1. That soldier may well have shot a drone, gets down back to site safely. If you recall, the last time this bomb site was attacked by Scarz, it was very much a focus on the freezer push. Coldbro opened it wide with those Selmas. Kanos is just on flank watch at the moment. But I think Talon have learned their lesson. Stop being so aggressive, and Scarz won't punish you for it. I do like this, though. Talon very aware that Freezer is a point of contention for Scarz. Oh, no, whiff on the drone. You might get punished for that if you get swung.
No.
Demic is unstoppable. See you later tomorrow. Good night tomorrow. Demic is my new best friend.
And of course, he's supporting 11 as well, who... He's going to be able to add on to this, and that obviously forces Soldier right back into Pillar, where Kanos' drone also happens to be. So his location is going to be very well broadcast, and now he's got to be aware of the flashes coming in. His position being completely influenced by the attackers, which is not where you want to be as a defender. You always want to be having total control. And now that gives Scarz the opportunity to look round. Demic catching PMW out, but he can't get the second one as Labyrinth gets his revenge. In goes the C4, but will it get anybody? No, it will not. But the trades coming backwards and forwards mean that we are now in a 3 versus 2 situation. Kanos, half health or just under it, is going to be moving down, looking around to blue, want to be ensuring everything has been cleared out. That's where Labyrinth is situated. He may choose to move back round, but it doesn't look like it. He's going to get aggressive and it doesn't pay off. Just BD remains, but it doesn't take long for him to be taken down either. Scarz, another round on the board, and you said it, James, it's a 3-3 half.
Very, very nice improvements from Scarz in the second half of that half, if you will. And I will say, Talon, it looked like they had a leg back into that round. Very early on, Scarz took control of Freezer. A little bit too confusing, I think, from Talon. They were distracted a bit by that hatch, and Demic's just like, yeah, I'm going to swing it, guys. Let's go. And he did just that. He's been popping off 7-4 right now. Scoreline in the teeth that Scarz has needed. But with getting Freezer control with over a minute remaining, it meant that after that first little exchange of blows, that execute, we saw a 3 versus 2, and there was still tons of time left for Scarz. They didn't have to sweat it too much to just keep throwing players into the fire. So they reassessed the situation. Players went back upstairs, rotating out of freezer and starting to push the rear stairs with a healthy split. I believe it was 2 rear side and 1 on the laundry. And from then on in, it was nice and clinical. Scarz playing their 1v1s, their 2v1s. They used that numbers advantage and cleaned house.
Definitely, and it's much nicer to see that happen compared to the lost little lamb that I think Scarz used to look like, even back on the first couple of rounds of this map. Now, the thing is when they came here in stage 1, and Talon obviously pulled Scarz apart, ripping their limbs from their skeleton, a lot of their power came from, well, that's how, would you put it in any better way?
No, please, that was perfect. Very graphic. I thought this was a PG-13 broadcast.
Yeah, this is after hours now. Anyway, a lot of that was on the attack, and I kind of alluded to it at the start where they had this kind of crazy Blackbeard thing that they kept bringing down through blue, and it worked really well. They're not going to be doing that now, but Scarz should be nervous, I think, of the power of Talon's attack.
But Canos, he's not scared. Aggressive still on those rear stairs. Fairly safe position to be in. Even if he just can shoot a few drones, that's quite good. Talon firstly simply clearing the map. Good first step. What is that? An aggressive peek from Canos. You could see BD recoiled a little bit there for a moment, but he drones it out. He knows he's safe. Double checks T2. All clear. Droning back down to T1, but he wants to make sure tomorrow is there to capitalize on the kill. It's beneficial to the defenders if the drone comes out. Canos can just shoot it. That's what he's looking to do right now. You'll notice he's pre-aiming down low. He decides better of it. Gets down in Harry Potter safely.
Meanwhile, Tomorrow is obviously making work on the meeting hatch so that they can get that open. He's joined by BD, who'll likely use 2 of his Selmas, but actually it's been electrified again. So it looked like 11 was ready for that one.
Bomb located by attackers.
Well, it was good time for Scarz. I think that aggression on the rear stairs, while they didn't necessarily get any drones off of it, they didn't get any frags or damage, it slowed down Talon a little bit. And now, oh, come on. Yeah, this K charge is beautiful. So typically where you would put the electric claw is, we can't quite see it from this angle, unfortunately, but you can put it on the wall right where Medics is looking. It's actually to the south side of that doorway, typically, and it'll actually electrify that hatch. Where they put it, I can't quite see it, but the place I put it, it's you can't get it with Talon. So that's the idea here. Ooh. But the action's ensuing, and Talon on the back of that hatch being closed, and they're going to push to freezer, and they do trade out eventually and get that control. Looks like they might have a way back into this game.
Certainly a solid couple of kills there coming out from Talon as they applied the pressure into freezer. 11 wasn't entirely sure how many were coming down, but he knew that his phone was buzzing, but it's going to be Canos who's adding on to the kill count for Scarz. Bearing in mind, Tomorrow has also been downed and no one around to res him means that he's going to be out of action, and Talon Esports are running out of opportunities to move in and make their plant. They're going to have to get the kills on these last couple of members, but as I say that, BD goes in for the plant. Very, very low HP. He was so close to getting it, but Cold Bro turns around the bomb chassis. He ends his life. BD, who was carrying about 5 HP, I think, very nearly got away with that one.
That was cold, bro. That was...
oh, shut up.
Man, for so long. For so long he was staring at his head, but he ran out of ammo with his primary. And a teammate to desperately try and cover. It just wasn't there for Talon, and I think that telegraphs what's been going on for these guys. They had 3 straight defenses. This game was theirs, and Scarz flipped everything on its head. And they won 4 rounds straight. How many more can they go before Talon wakes up? You can't just let him do this to you.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's, you know, Talon who...
I'm enjoying it.
No, me too. I absolutely love it because especially as... Oh, here we go. Watching again. Dude!
The
That's
plant
the
was
shell.
just going down for like a whole second.
I
and,
was
like
so
PMW
close, look.
needed to cover. He
Yeah.
needed to swing. If PMW found that kill, that round would have gone the other way.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so close. And what I love about it is that it's really raising the profile of the Korean region for how competitive it can be. Because naturally, people expected Giants to take the major. No, it was Cloud9. Okay, suddenly their name is in everyone's mouths. Then you come to a game like this and you think, oh, well, okay, the skill level's it's got a bit of a disparity between these two teams. It might be a stomp. So far, it's proving to not be. And Korea are showing up on the board. This is something that this region have always wanted to prove.
The Scarz would not be the first team that's come into Stage 2 with significant roster changes and looks better than before. Secret springs to mind in the EUL. They've astonished everyone bringing on some young talent that not a lot of people would have expected to have the same level of experience. And I'd say the same thing here for Scarz. They've done really well thus far. And as you said, people didn't have very high hopes for Korea coming into EUL. APAC
Well,
North
it certainly
League.
didn't come into EUL.
No. Who knows how they do there? But I was admittedly one of the critics of Korea. After seeing them over multiple seasons of Pro League, I thought they would be the weakest nation here. But these guys have proved me wrong. And Canos is well and truly back in this game, rocking a positive KD despite dying first in the first 3 rounds of this match. The Scarz locking down that vertical presence in kitchen and showers, or lockers rather, for this Dorm's defense.
And certainly nice to see, especially with the positioning of Canos. It's no secret that security is hard to clear out, but that is a job that Talon Esports will have on their shoulders. BD's droning in, so he knows that 11 is present there in the kitchen, but very low HP. But Canos is still just sitting pretty. He's not letting up in any way. Tomorrow, holding on to the showers corridor as well. But obviously, it's the time of the attackers that will get wasted the more they sit and wait.
Patience exhibited by Scarz. Talent deciding to change things up, making a rotation to Master. 3 Selmas still available. BD will drone out Master in the closet and then likely be prepared to open that up, but Scarz furthering their lead with another kill. PMW down. Canos as well in an aggressive position, ready to potentially run out this white window, but he doesn't need to. Talon are on the ropes, and Scarz are not letting them in this one. There's a kill, but what? No! Zemek was there to support his teammate. Well, I guess you could say that's one way to put it. And now Talon completely gassed out of the site. Labyrinth will desperately run through. Finished off. It's all BD, but there's nothing he can do. Spray down 1, but punished by none other than Demek himself. Scarz have just won 5 rounds in a row.
That's a really, really hard monolith of a challenge for Talon to now be looking at. You come into this matchup, and I suspect they were feeling incredibly confident in doing so because of the past, because of the story that these two teams have had with one another for such a long time now. And suddenly, you have lost all momentum. The momentum is being gained more and more by your opposing team, and you're sitting there, you've had the turn of the half, and things haven't changed. You know, at the end there, you said it's all on BD. That seems to be a repeating story so far. BD has been the last one remaining on a number of these rounds right now. And that's certainly not to criticize BD and say, wow, he can't clutch, he's bad. That's not the true at all. The point is he shouldn't be the last one remaining. He shouldn't be there on his own. That's the problem Talon are having, and they need to fix it if they want to take this series, because right now, Scarz are 2 rounds off of winning it.
Attackers have discovered the location.
And winning it in a reverse sweep, no less. Right? They lost the first 3 rounds, and the way that everything since has played out, I wouldn't be surprised to see Scarz polish this game off 7 in a row and take the map 7-3. That's how good Scarz have looked. I mean, embarrassing is what it is for Talon. Scarz are showing them what's good at the moment, and I think this is a telling round. Not only is it the potential for a match point for Scarz, but it is the off bomb site. If Talon can win this one, well, maybe it's possible to mount a comeback. But if they can't, I think that spells doom. This is the least favored bomb site on the map. If Scarz can pull this off, then the sky's the limit.
Yeah, if they take this, how do you come back from that? Well, that is the question that is going to be answered as the round ensues. Because, of course, Talon are now starting to make their moves in, particularly with their drones, gathering the information that is required. Now, we did see how Scarz dealt with trying to get this shower's control, and this time they're going to be having their maestro in the form of Nosferatu held very close up behind the shield in that room. Are Talon going to be able to deal with it just as well? Well, they'll be able to do with 11 as he gets caught through the window. That's a good first pick, but they have to keep it going.
Does that breaching round destroy the shield? Indeed, but we've seen players deal a lot of damage from this position in showers. That locker is so powerful, such a good large piece of cover to hide behind.
I'm reloading.
Coldbro, cautious that he's been droned multiple times. PNW's already found 1 kill off this window. I think that's an impact trick to deny the Selmas. Other one goes out. There's a second kill for PMW from the same window. Finally, Talon are getting in this, and that air jab will deny the run out as well. PMW, 3 kills on the round, 4 kills for PMW. It's all on Cold Bro, but PMW steps up for the ace. That's one way to stall the momentum and get Talon back in the game.
3 of them were from the same window. How do you allow that to happen? How do you allow that to happen?
Bugger if I know, Geo, but PMW's just given Talon a chance here. I said that was the pivotal round. That was the least favored bomb site, and for that reason, I don't think Scarz should start sweating yet, but Talon, they've got something to grip onto now. Scarz, they can still win this at a 7-4 if they just repeat the feat of laundry defense successfully, and then after this, then a Dorms one. But the fact that Talon has finally broken through and won one attacking round, that tells them that, all right, guys, snap out of it. Let's get back into this. We can still take it.
And now what looked like a potentially disastrous scoreline is just a 1-round differential between the two of them. It is funny how it really changes the perspective on how you view the game when it suddenly you go from that 5-3 to the 5-4, and now all Talon need is this next round, and suddenly they've made up for all the problems that they had over the course of those last 5 rounds, none of which they could take for themselves. As you say, I don't think it's time for Scarz to start sweating too much. They don't need to be too concerned as long as they keep up what they were doing before.
That said, Talon are understanding a little bit more this setup. I want to have a look at this Electroclaw this time, see if we can actually find it. Medics, I challenge thee. Find the Electroclaw on the meeting hatch. Please. Has he still got one in the pocket? One in the pocket, and there's one on the hatch already. Now, usually where I would put it is on the south side of that doorway. Can you see it, Gio? Does Medics have better eyes than me, or are we just all completely blind? I think that if he's put it on the roof, it won't appear on the top-down overlay. So I think it must be attached to the roof. But typically what you do is you put it on the south side of that window. Turn around, Nosferatu, please.
We want to see.
Oh, I'm looking on the left side. No, I can't see it. But hey, it's usually on like the south side of this doorway, and it extends and gets the hatch. There you go. You can see it above the doorway right now.
Right.
Thank you, Medics. We did it. And as such, the Carly's lance, when it explodes on the opposite underside of the hatch, it will not destroy that. And now that Talon know about that, I'm going to finish this point real quick. Now that Talon know about that, they can just bypass that, because there is literally no way to get that, unless if you somehow destroy that claw, but it's not going to happen. So just give up on opening that hatch and invest your time instead in taking control of blue or rear stairs or lobby or laundry or rear stairs, whatever it is you want to do.
Chronicles of the Kaid Claw. I mean, it is super interesting because it affects how Talon have to go about taking this site. If they do have to simply give up on the idea of using the lance, is he going to go for it? Okay, he is. if they do have to just simply give up on it, then that means they obviously don't have access to that meeting hatch, which is highly influential. It didn't work, obviously, so they're going to have to figure something else out.
Yep, there is no way to do that. No way to destroy that claw. So give up on it. That's what happens when you ban Maverick when Thatcher's already banned. Or vice versa, rather. I guess it was Scarz who did the second ban. So Talon, clearly they've not experienced that claw before. So a bit disappointing, but they're going to learn it right now. You know, they'll never make this mistake again. So instead, they need to focus on clearing from other sides. They have the hard breach here ready and open up the electrical wall, but they need to be cautious of the peek from Boiler. And there it is. Damage taken by Soldier, but this is time ticking away.
Got the two players here in elbow, and that might be a problem that Talon really struggle with as the ADS eats up that projectile. They're going to be retreating. Demic just dancing inside. He throws out that last smoke canister, but there's still room for the rest of Talon to move on through. Won't be finding anyone just yet, but you've got to bear in mind there's only 15 seconds remaining on the board. They don't have much of a choice here. They're going to have to make the rush despite the fact that there's 5 of their enemies standing up, but Canos, he ensures that they can't get through. A 3K at the start, followed up by Demic, and Scarz decisively take those gunfights at the end and secure themselves the round straight onto match point.
You know, I cannot wait for this game to be finished so we can see the CGG ratings for Canos and Demic, because they will be nuts. Like, these guys have been popping the F off. It is crazy to see such a strong performance out of players who were getting dunked on for the first 3 rounds of this map. And I thought maybe Talon winning that dining attack would give them a second wind, but Scarz certainly ain't intending to give them a chance. And I know we faffed around for a really long time talking about that electric claw, but I do think it was really impactful.
It was huge.
Because Talon just spent so much time trying to figure out what their take is. And when you simply cannot open that hatch because there is effectively no utility in this current landscape that will allow you to do that, you need to move on. And it was 40 seconds left when they tried to push blue. They had 3 players desperately pushing it. Eventually they took it, but they didn't have control of elbow. There was 9 seconds left on the clock. 5 versus 5. That never favors the attackers, like especially not when they had such little ground. So now we're on match point Scarz, and I think they'll finish it here.
Like, I want to say, wow, that's a very definitive thing to say. You sound very confident in that, but yeah. Scarz have shown us every reason to be confident in making that kind of a prediction, and all of the flack we gave to Hap at the start, Derry lost his mind over the fact that Hap had predicted Scarz, and now he's going to be eating his words and have to give a very bashful apology, I think, at the end.
The worst thing about this game is that we're going to have to admit Hap was right.
I don't like that. That makes me very uncomfortable. But because his percentage will increase, he'll no longer be on 69%. So technically, we all lose. And I'm fine with losing if Hap loses too.
You're one of those people.
Oh, I grew up with a brother. Of course, I'm one of those people.
Well, I grew up as the brother, so. But Talon, you guys got to do something to put this to right, and Dorms is where you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to win Dorms, and then Scarz will get to either reattempt Dorms or go down to Dining. But starting things off, Attic Control. They tried this last time around, but actually, no, I think that was when Scarz was attacking. Indeed, what happened last time Talon attacked this is they tried to clear out Canos and 11 downstairs who are roaming in security and kitchen, and they had no luck whatsoever. So I think bypassing that is probably the best move. I know it's going to be really difficult to plant if you don't have vertical control under the bomb site because of all the ways that those defenders can deny your plant from downstairs with C4 and holes to the floor. But I think Talon, they clearly just don't have what it takes to clear out that room below, and it's way too late to dedicate to it now. So you just got to try and be in a position to execute as early as possible so that you can replace those planters after they get C4'd.
Well, time to see how the fates are going to turn. Are Talon going to be able to keep themselves in this match? Or is Scarz going to take the first victory against them ever since the first time they ever played? We still have this presence downstairs from both of the teams. Once again, a couple of players from the defending team, and it's on the shoulders of Labyrinth to deal with them. He saw the peek. He's going to miss the shot. Doesn't quite get it, but he's going to go in again. Worrisome is the rotate. So watching the other door as everything continues on upstairs. PMW will be the one to get the first kill, and onto Demic, that's incredibly valuable. We've seen what he can do. Flashes going into kids. Not a sentence I want to repeat. As the fight ensues, and it's going to be 11 counts who start to pick up the kills for Scarz. PMW's trying to turn things around, but there's only 2 players remaining on Talon. They don't have much that they can do. The C4 fails to reach either of them, but Scarz still have the man advantage. Just PMW remaining. He can't quite clinch it out. And Scarz, for the first time in nearly a year, take a victory against Talon Esports.
An unprecedented result that has certainly stunned, well, almost all of our predictions panel. Scarz, it seems like those roster changes helped out, but it also helps when you've got Canos and Demic stepping up hugely for the team, both copping double digits. A fantastic performance to round that out from Scarz. And, well, from a last place finish in stage 1, it looks like their stage 2 might be a little bit better, Gia.
Oh man, it certainly does, and I'm so excited to see the development of this team if that's the way it's going to go. This is the Scarz, the one Pro League Season 11 in Korea, but are they going to be the Scarz that can make it into the top 6 this stage and head to the next major? We are still yet to find out, as obviously everything is yet to be unfolded, but analysts, I feel like Derry has got a lot of apologizing to do to Hap, so I'll let you get on with it.
You would be remiss to believe that Derry